Hello everyone, intuitive and astrologer Lisa Salvatore here, your spiritual guide and companion on this wild, mystical ride as we move throughout the remainder of November. For those of you that are new here, welcome, welcome. It is so lovely to have you here. And for those that have been with me, welcome back. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you are always notified of new uploads. Now let's dive deep into what the universe is trying to teach, tell, and show all of us as we move throughout the month of November. Know that as we move toward that new moon on November 20th, that potent new moon at the 28th degree of Scorpio, the energy is revealing, to say the least. You may already notice and will continue to notice that conversations feel much more weighty. Conversations seem to be pulling more threads. Secrets slip, masks are falling off, for better or worse. And patterns that you thought were done are circling back around, not to hurt us, but for closure. Not to punish you, but to show you exactly where you've outgrown the old story. This new moon on the 20th cracks open a fresh new path, but only for what's authentic, only for what's real. This is the time to choose utmost radical honesty with yourself. The time to really tighten up your energetic boundaries as we move throughout the remainder of this year, and to commit to a life that actually matches your spirit, not the performance. As we leave Scorpio season behind and move into the fiery chambers of Sagittarius season, this is where ambition meets authenticity. With these late November planetary placements and the energies, and we're going to drop the charts in a moment, you will feel this inner tug, this inner calling. Should I play small versus I'm ready to shine? This is how I'm ready to shine. This is where I'm ready to shine. And also feeling a little bit of fear attached to that as well. But Spirit is saying, go bold, stay real, stay true to yourself. Most importantly, ground your vision to what feels right. Not just what looks right, but what genuinely feels right for you, to you. So yes, all of that to say, is it complete smooth sailing? Of course not. You may hit a bump or two as we move throughout the remainder of this month. You might question something or a few things that you once believed to be true, and that's good, because growth loves disruption. Stagnancy appreciates disruption. Bigger picture. For the remainder of November, think reroutes and reality checks. People show you who they are. You outgrow certain relationships, certain situations. It's all a part of the higher plan for your soul. You're much more aware. You see where you've been dimming your light, where you've been denying and or overgiving. And the universe, your higher self, spirit, however you look at that, is saying no more. Any twists that occur are course corrections. Any shocks are alignments, but the clarity is non-negotiable. Let's get right into the insights. On November 18th, Mercury, currently retrograde, will retrograde back into Scorpio. Mercury backtracks into the underworld at 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time on November 18th. This is the time where we must trust our discernment and read between the lines, read the subtleties, read the vibration. That is what Scorpio energy is all about. It's about what's underneath the surface. You might find yourself revisiting old storylines under these energies as Mercury moves back into Scorpio. Pay very close attention to your dream space, repeated patterns, numbers, symbols, etc. What repeats right now especially reveals. On November 20th, we have the Scorpio New Moon, and this new moon takes place at 1:47 a.m. Eastern Time at 28 degrees and 12 minutes of Scorpio. And we're going to drop the chart here in a minute. This is a good new moon to work with. This is a great new moon to set intentions under. Scorpio energy, a new moon at the later degrees of Scorpio, this is all about rebirth, revelations, and renewal. This is a time to truly release the old and embrace the new. A time to embrace our highest calling and to truly look within and to reflect upon, to truly look inward and honor your past self. Honor who you once were, honor who you are, and honor who you are becoming. This new moon falls at 28 degrees and 11 minutes of Scorpio. This is how we have a new moon. It's when the sun and the moon are aligned by exact minute and degree. We get one new moon per year per zodiac sign. Sometimes we get two, but that's a whole nother story. This new moon invites deep and powerful introspection. It invites you to look at a new perspective on your deepest needs, desires, and motivations. This moon falls in the third decan of Scorpio, which has a Cancer energy to it, the third decan of Scorpio. This is the decan of Scorpio that's ruled by the moon, as the moon rules the sign of Cancer. And that lends to it an extra layer of profound truth, inspiration, and intuition. Higher awareness, very deep emotions. Think still waters run deep, very deep. This new moon has quite the blend of both Scorpionic and Cancerian, Scorpio and Cancer energies. Intuitive, impressionable, emotional, flowing. This is intensified energy, intensified Scorpio energy here. Really strong energy, even though this is a new moon and it's about bringing in the new, bringing forth the new, we must release the old in order to embrace the new, in order to let it in. Really strong drive right now for emotional truths, transformation, and deep inner work. We're all going to be much more hyper aware of what makes us tick, for better or worse. A lot will be revealed under this new moon energy, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and psychically. We've got some pretty potent aspects here with this new moon. We've got Mercury, now retrograde in Scorpio, 28 degrees and 27 minutes of Scorpio, exactly aligned with this new moon. We've got the Mercury Kazimi occurring here. This is where Mercury passes through the heart of the sun, and all of the energies and the properties of Mercury, the messenger, are amplified. The dream space is talking. Spirit is speaking. You must quiet your mind so that you can listen, so that you can hear. This energy is so strong for mental clarity, and it's especially good for very deep introspection and the emergence of new ideas, new perspectives. Some of them might have a little bit of a shock value to them, as Uranus, the planet of shock and revelations and disruption. Uranus is the divine disruptor. Uranus is here at 29 degrees of Taurus, 29 degrees and 29 minutes of Taurus. That is the anaretic degree. So Uranus is rocking and rolling, changing things up. We'll likely see heightened seismic activity, specifically in the way of volcanic activity. There could be some potential eruptions. Spiritually speaking, Uranus opposite Mercury, this is like a meeting of the minds. And even though it's in opposition, there's a lot of clarity that can come in. And it might not always be what you want to hear, but it's going to be precisely what you need to hear to launch you forward. This Uranus-Mercury opposition, along with the Mercury Kazimi and this new moon in Scorpio, this is so powerful. This can absolutely and more than likely will bring about sudden changes, massive shifts, and breakthroughs in both our inner and outer realities. We're going to likely see some disruption within the stock market, as Taurus and Scorpio are the signs that rule over finance. And what's also going to be called into question is, what do we genuinely value? We've got a lot of water energy here. We have the sun, the moon, Mercury all in Scorpio. We've got Venus here in Scorpio. We've got Saturn in Pisces. We've got the North Node in Pisces. Neptune at the 29th degree of Pisces. Neptune in an exact sextile with Uranus. Neptune trine Mercury and the new moon. We've got this grand water trine here. Fabulous energy for the free flow of intuitive guidance, intuitive hits, spiritual work, psychological work. This is such tremendous energy for very deep cathartic healing and clearing. But we must be open to it. We must be open to receive. All of this water energy, it's yin. It's all about receptivity. What are we embracing? Are we embracing the transformation? We must remain open to the unexpected changes and potential shifts in not only what's going on around us, but more importantly, of our own shifts of our own perspective. Be sure to set some intentions under this new moon, specifically for where 28 degrees of Scorpio falls in your birth chart. You can always download your birth chart right on my website. I'll link that in the description box below. I also have a free downloadable guide through the houses of the birth chart and some more teaching content and material, both free and paid. I will link all of that in the description below. You're definitely going to want to look to the part of your birth chart that contains Scorpio, more specifically the 28th degree of Scorpio, and set an intention within that area, within those departments of life. And you will find that the energy is definitely going to feel funneled in that direction anyways. It's all about reflection and introspection. And I will go through where this new moon will fall by rising sign in just a moment. But really use this energy to set intentions for personal renewal, emotional growth, and deeper intimacy. with self and with others. Emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, spiritual intimacy, mental intimacy, intimacy on all fronts. And Scorpio energy also asks us to confront, to be honest with ourselves. This is a time for inner work and not necessarily initiating new projects. Mercury will station direct shortly, and things will begin to move forward. But this is really about tending to the inner landscape. Since Scorpio demands truth, this is the perfect new moon to also work with releasing what no longer aligns. Reflect on and recognize what your heart has outgrown, where your heart has outgrown. Also, what your soul is done believing in. What energy are you wanting to release and what energy are you wanting to carry forth? As Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus, this is all about rooting ourselves in authenticity, in our authenticity, aligning with what we truly value right now, today. With the sun and the moon both in Scorpio, this is about going into the depths of who we truly are today, the depths of our inner world, and coming up with clarity. This is not surface level. This new moon is not a surface level feeling. It's much deeper than that. It's asking us to go much deeper. We are all much more emotionally charged, for better or worse. And this is motivation. This is fuel to move us forward. Genuinely reflect on what version of me is ready to step forward. It's equally as important to honor the cycles of endings and beginnings when we're dealing with all of the Scorpio energy, as Scorpio is the sign most strongly linked to death and decay, permanence, clearing away the old, and then, of course, the rebirth, the transformation that occurs once we let go, once we expel. Scorpio carries that death and rebirth archetype, and this is about honoring these energies for what they're worth, honoring the patterns, honoring the cycles, honoring the stories, both of what once was and what will be, and also the in-between, which is right now. What part of you is ready to end so that your next chapter can solidify? And since we're dealing with this Mercury Kazimi, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, so close to this new moon, this is about inner dialogues that you must be mindful of, unresolved stories coming back around, resurfacing, and expect the unexpected. Hidden truths will likely surface, and use them as fuel for intention setting rather than resistance. We're likely going to be hearing of a lot more scandals as we move throughout this month. Definitely more about the Epstein files. Scorpio is all about secrets coming up. What's done in the dark eventually comes to light. This is about the shadow. This is also about facing our fears and liberating ourselves from that which once scared us. So collectively speaking, this is a time of secrets being revealed. There could also be some sort of financial exploitation going on in your own life or with someone or something that you're connected to. And this could be collectively speaking as well. Just pay attention. Pay attention to all the subtleties. Pay attention to what's in front of you. Discernment. Discernment is key. I know I'm talking a lot about this new moon, but there is tremendous potential for clarity at this time. Dreams, intuition, and just very strong spiritual experiences overall. Here is where this new moon will fall for you by your rising sign. Again, be sure to check your chart for where 28 degrees of Scorpio falls. So if you're Aries rising, this will be in your 8th house, and this is the natural home of Scorpio. So there's a very strong energy here if you're Aries rising, a very deep cathartic emotions coming up to the surface, something that you thought might have not been a factor any longer, particularly as it pertains to family dynamics, is coming back up around for you, for review, for healing, for cleansing, for clearing. This is about very deep personal matters and emotions. For Taurus rising, this new moon falls in your 7th house of relationships, contracts, and commitments of all kinds. What is the quality and the nature of these relationships? And most importantly, what is the quality and the nature of the relationship that you have with self? Check in with your value, not just your monetary value, but this is a great time to also check in with your finances, your financial standing. Gemini rising, this new moon falls in your 6th house of your health and your habits and your daily routines, your work out in the world. What it is that you're doing on the everyday. Are you connected to it? Be honest with yourself. Cancer rising, this new moon falls in your 5th house of children and love affairs, creative projects and endeavors. Strong intuition around this new moon. Set some intentions for the life that you wish to lead. Let go of what doesn't serve. Leo rising, this new moon falls in your 4th house of home and family and foundation. This has the potential to be a very deep, healing, and emotionally cleansing new moon for you, but you must be honest with yourself and about where things are for you today. Virgo rising, this new moon falls in your 3rd house of communication and expression, also siblings, family, cousins, your community. This new moon is fabulous for conflict resolution for you, Virgo, with intentional communication and care. Libra rising, this new moon falls in your second house of financial standing, your self-worth, what you value, your relationships. Really check in with self here. Are you leading the life that you wish to lead? Are you carrying the energy that you wish to carry? Scorpio rising, this is your new moon. This is your first house. This is your very essence, yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, all of it. This is a fabulous new moon for you to sit down, reflect, and set intentions and honor how far you've come, how much work you've done, and stay rooted. The best is yet to come. Sagittarius rising, this new moon falls in your 12th house of behind the scenes. This is the perfect time for strong, deep spiritual and/or psychological work. Your intuition is on fire. Capricorn rising, this new moon falls in your 11th house of community and friends and networks. This is also a strong time for you for your ambitions, your hopes, and your dreams, your aspirations. So set some intentions here. Aquarius rising, this new moon falls in your 10th house of public image, public standing, your career if you have one, your vocation if you have one, your place in the world. And how does that balance out with your personal life? Set some intentions here. Pisces rising, this new moon falls in your 9th house of faith and philosophy, spirituality, higher learning, expansion. This is a great new moon for you to really go deep into your lineage, your ancestry, to pull into a new course of study or certification, or just to simply reroute your beliefs and honor the fact that you're allowed to change them. They don't have to be the same as those within your unit. Just because you do not necessarily align with all of their beliefs doesn't mean that you're not aligned with them at all, and vice versa. Moving on from the new moon, on November 21st, the sun will enter Sagittarius at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. It is your season. Aim high and stay grounded. Even though we're under Mercury retrograde energy still at this point, the entrance of the sun into the sign of Sagittarius does pick up the tempo. It ushers in this sense of freedom and adventure, expansion. Over the next few weeks, while the sun moves through Sagittarius, we can expect to feel a more optimistic vibe. The energy can also be slightly impulsive as we aim for what it is that we want. On November 24th, Mars, the planet of action and energy and drive and force, motivation, aggression, Mars will square off with the nodes of the moon, the nodes of fate. This is a time where we're likely going to see, hear, and feel both in our personal world and then also out there in the world. There will be this energy of wrongdoings being righted. Then on November 27th, Saturn will station direct. And Saturn will station direct at 25 degrees and 9 minutes of Pisces. So if you'd like to, you can check that area of your chart, 25 degrees of Pisces. As Saturn stations direct and the year starts to wind down, just remember to focus on what's real, keep your feet planted on the ground, but of course allow yourself to dream. But truly focus on what's real and what's within your grasp and what's within your control. And let go of that which is not. If you can do that, you'll navigate the remainder of this year just fine. And then on the 29th, Mercury stations direct. Hallelujah. Mercury stations direct on the 29th at 12:38 p.m. Eastern Time at 20 degrees and 42 minutes of Scorpio. After the last few weeks of confusion, clarity can start to come in, but it will take a minute to feel like we're gaining total traction. As we close out November, this is such a fabulous time to check in with self, check in with your emotions, and work on rebuilding any bonds that might have been strained by these last few weeks, because I know that these last few weeks have been a lot, especially if you're strongly fixed, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and or mutable, which is Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius. If you have those energies strong within your chart, within your life, you will definitely be feeling like there might be a bond or two that has felt particularly tense and or strained. And this will be the time where you'll start to feel differently about it and like you're ready to really address it in a calmer, more constructive manner. It's been edgy for sure. As we close out the month on the 30th, Venus will enter Sagittarius. And Venus will remain in Sagittarius until December 24th for frame of reference. Venus here is really nice because Venus in Sagittarius is adventurous. It can make us feel more adventurous in our everyday life, willing to take more risks, more chances. It's fun for relationships. It's a great time to truly focus on nurturing spiritual connections. And that is just an overview of the remainder of November. If you appreciate this content and would like deeper insights weekly, then stick around and listen to this message. And if this is where our journey ends, take really good care of yourself. Hello, everyone. Warm wishes for a happy and healthy 2025. I am so excited to be here with all of you, all of my beautiful subscribers, and to continue to put out supportive content. I will continue to give you astrological and intuitive updates. My channel will not be changing. I will be doing new moon and full moon readings, along with some insights through the signs, monthly astrological and energetic updates, astrology updates overall, and some more how-to videos, readings on current events, etc. None of that will change. That will all still be here on my channel, but I am excited to roll out a few new options for 2025. Here on YouTube, I now have a membership. That membership is $7.99 a month. You do not have to join the membership, but you can if you want to. And what that membership encompasses is obviously all of the general free content that is out there and will continue to be out there, but with more exclusive content. So every Sunday, I go live and I give the astrological and energetic forecast for the upcoming week. And we have some spiritual chit chat there. There's a live chat. Now that is going to be sent to you with the YouTube membership by recording. If you wanted to be a part of the live stream, I have another subscription, which is based on Substack, which is where I have my newsletter and where I am the most interactive. And that will also be linked in the description box below if you're interested in that. But the Substack membership is $10 a month, okay, to be transparent, or $100 per year. And every Sunday, I do go live and I give the astrological and energetic update and forecast. And it's, like I said, it's interactive and I answer questions. And then monthly, I do a live Zoom where I go into more details for each month, readings through the signs. And in those monthly lives, there's also the opportunity to be read, both astrologically and psychically, combination of the two. That is with my Substack subscription. That is with my newsletter subscription, to be clear. The YouTube subscription, the one that is $7.99 a month, you will get the recordings of everything that I do on my Substack newsletter. To join the YouTube subscription, all you have to do is go right to my homepage and just click join. And once again, thank you to all of my amazing subscribers. I'm so thankful and grateful to each and every one of you. I'm also grateful that I get to provide this content, and I really hope that it supports you on your spiritual journey.